The critical failure point for most individuals is not recognizing a psychological attack until it's too late. The master manipulator doesn't use blunt force. They use a precise weapon to bend your will. We are dissecting the weapons of everyday control, selective attention, projection, and guilt tripping. If you don't know the maneuver, you can't see the trap. This is verifiable, applied psychology. Let's learn how to seize back the power. Number 1, selective attention. The art of the distraction. The sophisticated manipulator rarely engages in a chaotic head-on assault. Such blunt force is messy and easily noticed. Instead, they employ selective attention, a psychological smokescreen designed to expertly divert your focus away from the critical flaw, the critical cost, or the critical truth, and toward an irrelevant, distracting minor detail. This is a classic misdirection tactic, ensuring that your cognitive resources are fully consumed by trivialities, leaving you incapable of spotting the overarching, damaging truth, the larger picture they desperately need to conceal. The mechanism relies on capitalizing on our limited cognitive bandwidth. By forcing your attention to a minor, complex, or emotional detail, they anchor your mind where they want it, creating a controlled, false environment. In a professional context, a negotiator may spend 20 minutes passionately detailing an amazing, yet entirely non-essential feature of a product, proclaiming, "Don't worry about the total cost right now. Just examine this amazing, new, exclusive feature." They are attempting to emotionally commit you to the product before you engage your rational, cost-benefit analysis. The strategy of defense: hijack their focus. Your countermove must be an immediate, ruthless redirection of the spotlight. You must refuse to follow their lead. Do not engage with the distraction, no matter how appealing or complex it is. You must seize the reins of the conversation by posing direct, pointed questions about the precise issue they are frantically trying to avoid. In the negotiation example, your response must be calm and unwavering. The feature is secondary. The cost is the first piece of information I require. What is the absolute final figure? By yanking the focus back to the relevant, high-stakes detail, you instantly break their tactic. A manipulator cannot control you if you consistently refuse to be distracted and maintain control of the conversational agenda. This defense requires disciplined focus and an absolute refusal to be emotionally swayed by the superficial. Number 2, projection, the weaponization of the mirror. The tactic of projection is a profound psychological defense mechanism deployed as an aggressive, offensive weapon. Manipulators, often deeply insecure, deceitful, or fundamentally flawed individuals, cannot tolerate the truth of their own character. Therefore, they compulsively offload or project their own flaws, intentions, and immoral impulses onto you. If a partner is habitually dishonest, they will constantly and loudly accuse you of lying. If a colleague is paralyzed by their own incompetence, they will relentlessly insist you are the one overreacting or incompetent. Projection is their mechanism for radical blame shifting, ensuring they remain psychologically safe and in control, while simultaneously forcing you into an exhausting, perpetual, defensive position. The critical danger here is the continuous effort required to defend yourself against falsehoods, which drains your energy and validates their control over the narrative. In a personal context, a toxic friend might callously dismiss your valid concerns by accusing you of overthinking, being too sensitive, or being too dramatic. The strategy of defense: hold up the mirror. The secret to countering projection is not to engage in the endless circular argument of denial. That argument is unwinnable because the manipulator genuinely believes the lie they are projecting. Instead, you must calmly and concisely flip the focus back onto them. If they accuse you of being too sensitive, you respond by stating with absolute calm that their severe reaction or their need to use harsh labels says far more about their own insecurity or behavior than it does about yours. You are not attacking. You are simply refusing the blame and holding up the mirror to reveal their own hidden game. The very moment you refuse to accept the projected blame, the tactic instantly loses all of its power. You reclaim control of the interaction without the energy expenditure of an escalating conflict, leaving the manipulator weaponless. Number 3. Guilt tripping, emotional blackmail for compliance. The third fundamental tactic is guilt tripping, the deliberate weaponization of your conscience and sense of loyalty. The manipulator bypasses direct negotiation entirely. Instead, they twist your emotional landscape, explicitly or implicitly, suggesting that by exercising your free will or by simply saying no, you are betraying them, being heartless, or acting selfishly. This is not persuasion rooted in logic or mutual benefit. It is purely emotional blackmail designed to corral you into compliance. The guilter achieves this by leveraging past favors, shared history, or even their own fabricated suffering. Their rhetoric is designed to evoke immediate feelings of obligation and deep remorse. The classic phrasing is the manipulative lament. Wow. After literally everything I have sacrificed and done for you, this is how you repay me? The intent is to make the psychological cost of refusal astronomically higher than the cost of compliance. The strategy of defense, acknowledgement without acquiescence. Your counter-strategy must be a display of emotional resilience and intellectual separation. You must calmly acknowledge the past action or favor they are referencing, but immediately and firmly refuse to allow guilt to dictate your present decision. Your response must communicate maturity and boundaries. I genuinely appreciate and value everything you have done for me, and I acknowledge your past efforts. However, past favors do not constitute a reason for me to change my current decision or compromise my own needs. By making this distinction, acknowledging the debt of gratitude but firmly rejecting the debt of compliance, you demonstrate that their emotional blackmail attempt has been recognized and is categorically ineffective. In that single moment of refusal, you seize back the power, proving that the guilt trick simply will not work against you. Manipulators thrive in the shadows of unawareness. By mastering the recognition of these three pervasive tactics, selective attention, projection, and guilt tripping, you arm yourself with the strategic foresight necessary to spot their moves and systematically protect yourself from their influence.